This evening, Meghan Markle will sit down with Ellen DeGeneres for yet another highly publicized TV appearance. Because of the vitriol and backlash she received after her bombshell Oprah Winfrey interview in March, many will be wondering why exactly Meghan is placing herself back in the spotlight. But Meghan seems immune to the public responses that she gets. She can do no right in the public's mind, so I feel for her. She's in a complete predicament. But I don't think she cares about criticism. It's clear to me that she's felt savaged and misunderstood by the media here in the UK. But rather than living her life as a private citizen, she and Prince Harry feel as though they must set their own narrative. Meghan wants to be someone who's in control of her own image as much as possible, and I wouldn't be surprised if that is a trauma response to events that happened in her childhood. People who want to be in control want it because they don't feel safe. Those who are really sure about who they are inside don't need external control, they have inner resilience, they trust themselves. And she does it. That comes down to how you're raised. Security as a child is about feeling loved and adored and heard. That's how we feel safe. So for Meghan, her way of feeling safe is to be in control. People who are controlling aren't necessarily very pleasant, they're not particularly empathetic or kind themselves. It's a survival strategy, but it gets misread all the time. Control of the narrative is what Meghan's father takes away from her all the time, because he's got his narrative, and to be frank, he's a complete monster. Anyone who professes to love you wouldn't damn you and undermine you, like her dad and her half-sister. She's not lucky with her people. So you can bet this Ellen interview will have been curated to perfection. Harry and Meghan will have seen the questions beforehand, and I wouldn't be surprised if they've asked to approve the show before it goes out on air. It will be made to look relaxed and free, but behind the scenes it will have been incredibly orchestrated and planned. Meghan won't expose herself to anything unexpected that could catch her out and embarrass her, but it's interesting how she's aligning herself with Ellen now. Ellen was obviously at the heart of all those toxic workplace rumors last year, and Meghan was also accused of bullying by some of her former staff. Since Ellen has apologized and shown contrition, it's possible Meghan hopes some of that wokeness rubs off on her. It does make you wonder who's giving Meghan and Harry their advice. It seems no one is really advocating for them, they're being advised by a massive American PR company, but it's a very different approach to how they were in the UK. Every celebrity today has to make a deal with the devil to maintain their fame, and that usually costs them in exposure. It's the same for Meghan. It's a rite of passage to go on Oprah Winfrey and disclose your truth as you see it. Look at Adele recently talking about her divorce and her pain and disappointment. You'll notice these public disclosures around pain and mental health always fit the celebrity narrative arc of depression and anxiety as well, because it's always past tense. They talk about it as though mental health is isolated into one painful incident, rather than the ongoing daily balancing act that everyone has to manage. I get the impression that Meghan is an alpha, which means she's incredibly driven and, yes, demanding. That can come across as rude and brusque, but she sets a high bar for herself, and the critical voice in her head is probably quite damning. So she can be pushy, but that doesn't mean she's bullying. Alpha types use their front brain, they're analytical, reactive and action-driven, they tend to act before they've thought through the ramifications. But in many ways they're more honest, because they know what they want and don't dress it up. To me, this Ellen Show appearance proves Harry and Meghan are staying in the States for good. They're not coming back because culturally there's nothing here for them. If that's the trajectory she wants, and by what we're led to believe it seems to be her in the driving seat, then good for her. She might be setting the agenda, but I don't see anything wrong with that if Harry's buying into it too. Sally Baker is a senior therapist and founder of Working on the Body.